Last week we spoke about different scenarios from life, and today I also have different things that are happening. Just before I start the lecture, a little update about what's going on. If you remember a year ago, in the lectures that took place a year ago, I was already starting to warn people about that the financial situation is one problem, but then it leads into very high crime, and life becomes very dangerous here. So that was a year ago, and now it's already happening. I heard that there's massive amount of breaking into houses in Great Neck. I was in Englewood in Shabbaton. Over there also they break into houses left and right. There's a house that was broken into 3 times in the same house in 1 week, which show you that the criminals have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. You catch me, you put me in jail, I have free heat, free food, free doctor, televisions. What do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose. For them it's like a hotel or something. Basketball, all the bodies from the neighborhood, and we're going to pay the price. Hashem has his way. When he wants to wake us up, he knows who to send to us. I just let you understand, all these neighborhoods that they have fancy houses, they will be the first one to pay the price. People who drive fancy cars will attract attention. Don't be surprised if you hear that tomorrow somebody puts a gun to someone's head and take him out of his car and steal it with whatever is in the car. And this is it. This is what's going on. This is the warning that Yaakov gave his children. Don't attract too much attention when you go to Egypt. It's a fancy place. We are a wealthy family. All of you are nice and handsome and smart. You all go in one door. Everyone will put their eye around you. And then later, before he died, in the brachot, he told them, make sure, don't attract from the goyim too much attention. Not all the goyim are nice. Some are nice, some are not. So some going here in New York, if they see you religious, you talk to them, they don't answer you on purpose. They look at you with a dirty look, and they refuse to talk, to show you how much they hate you. Here in America, it's still, we cannot announce yet that it's a danger to walk with the religious symbols on you. But religious symbols not necessarily is only a yarmulke. It can be a Star David. It can be things. There's a lot of hate crimes. 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 guys caught a Rabbi from a yeshiva in Williamsburg, and they broke every one of his bones with baseball bats. And why? Just because he's a Jew. He didn't have what to steal from. It's happening more and more now. So I want everyone to know that this is it. It's happening already. And we'll get to a situation that the police will start already get used to it, because it's going to happen every hour. And the police get another call and another call. And then at one point they won't care anymore. They'll leave us alone to our fortune. That's it. That's what's going to happen. So if you have some money and you still want to invest it in securities. Securing homes. And that's not a joke. That's one of the businesses that will do very well in the next few years. Anything else is bad. The economy, real estate is bad, jewelry is bad. What's good in these days? Maybe cheap food also. People have to survive. That's also going to do some business. Anyway, we're speaking today a little bit about responsibilities in life. Sometimes a person makes a horrible damage and is not even aware of it. He's not aware of it. It's in a highway. He cuts somebody and he continues to drive. That person gets off the road and he dies, and children become orphan. And 20 years later, they become, who knows, they get off the way. They become criminals and big drug dealers. And then the psychologist will explain that these people grew up without a father. And you come to Shamayim and they show you, this is you. You did it. And you say, me? I don't even know them. What is it? Driving in a wrong way. Cutting, going crazy, drinking alcohol, using drugs before you get on the wheel. We had a whole lecture about alcohol and drugs. But today I want to talk about different things. I give you an example. A doctor, a beginner, he just finished school, medical school. He found a job. It's very rare today to find a job, but in his days it was still possible. So he found a job in a hospital. And there's, of course, a doctor there that is more than 20 years he's a doctor there. And the main doctor left home. He went home at night, finished his shift, and this young doctor is there overnight to watch the patients there. Then after an hour, one of the patients started to feel very bad. He sees that he doesn't feel good, he's barely breathing. He called up the doctor, the head of the department there. He told him, you know, that patient is choking, it's making me very nervous. So he said to him, oh, that patient, okay, just give him that medicine and everything will be fine. He said, you sure you know who I'm talking about? Because the new doctor, it didn't make sense to him, the treatment that he offers. He told him, no, I'm talking, you know, that guy with the mustache, whatever. He said, yeah, don't waste my night, I'm tired. That guy, give it to him, everything will be fine. He went there and he gave him whatever he said. 2 minutes later, he see this guy finished, he died. Call him up, he's screaming. He's a young doctor, he's in his 20s. He screams, he's nervous on the phone. Come quickly, the patient that you told me to give him the medicine died. By now he woke up finally. He came quickly to the hospital and he just realized that he made a mistake. It was a different patient. He didn't have even patience 10 seconds to let him clarify to him which patients. That's how much sometimes people don't have patience, and later, believe me, they have to sweat for years. You didn't want to wait 10 seconds, you wait 10 years after, or 20 or 50. So what happened now? Now, this young doctor, after that incident, started to become religious. He felt guilty, he killed a person, even though he knew it's not his fault really, it's the other guy's fault. But still, you know, it's not a pleasant thing. You drive a car and you hit a person that jumped into the road, knowing you're 100% not guilty, there's no way to prevent it, doesn't make you feel better. Not necessarily. It makes you relief a little bit that you're not going to jail, but the feeling that I killed a person, it's not something that a person wants on his resume. What happened now? He comes to Rav Zilberstein in Ramat El-Hanan, and he says to him, Rabbi, what do I have to do? I want to clear myself. Am I guilty in anything? Do I have to make kapara? What do I have to do? I'm a doctor. It kills me that, you know, I put the medicine and this guy died. I told him the whole story. And what do you think the answer is? It's not necessarily only doctors. It can be other things. It can be a mistake of a lawyer and someone got the electric chair because of his neglecting the case. Also, there's a way to kill a person. It can be different ways, you know. What do you think the answer is, according to the Torah? He deserve a punishment or no, this guy, the young doctor? So the answer is, he doesn't need kapara. Soon I'm going to explain what does it mean kapara. Like we have Yom Kippur, comes from the word kapara. He doesn't need kapara, but he needs to make tshuva. What's the difference between tshuva and kapara? Kapara requires more efforts and more payments. Tshuva is a little bit easier. You regret, you pray, you cry, you ask forgiveness, you be more careful in the future. That's called tshuva. Kapara means payments, more things into the scenario. So he said to him, you need tshuva, you have to make tshuva. Why you have to make tshuva if you're not guilty? In this particular case, you're not guilty. The other doctor who told you to put the medicine, that's his full responsibility. He needs tshuva, and he also needs kapara. What's the kapara he needs? What's the kapara he needs? So it says like this. He has to fast Monday, Thursday, and Monday. 3 days in a row. Monday and Thursday are days that have more mercy. That's why we read the Sefer Torah on Monday and Thursday, which we don't do in the rest of the week, besides Shabbat. And then he has to give a nice gift to the orphans of this person who died, to his children, everyone according to his money. If he's a millionaire doctor, he has to give a nice big amount of money. Doesn't need the court to find him guilty. You want to clear yourself in heaven. Over here it's not so important. To be guilty over there, God forbid. God forbid. Everyone is worried about here, FBI, police, that. What a person really have to worry is about what's going to happen after. A murderer that got away with a murder, his punishment will be worse. Will be better off getting caught. Because over here it's a picnic. Sits in jail. If they put him uptown here with all the Haredim, they have Shiurei Gemara. The Rabbi from Spinka now joined them now. So now he has a big Talmid Chacham to teach them Torah. No, what's bad? You know? Learns Torah. He went to the jail ignorant from all his business. 10 years later, he comes out, a big Rabbi. No? Don't worry, it's not such a bad thing. The Gaon Mivilna was in jail. The first Lubavitcher Rebbe was in jail. Many big, Yosef HaTzadik was in jail. Sometimes Hashem sends a person to jail not because he's guilty of a crime, because he wants him to go to that place, to that hall, and from there to wake up. From there to start his life. He's completely innocent here. According to the laws of the Torah, he's innocent. Hashem decided, you know what? You're such a busy guy with your businesses, you don't have time for me and for my Torah and my mitzvot. Let me help you. I'll give you a push. You know, like a car is stuck on driving, when you have a regular stick shift, nobody knows how to drive it anymore. But 20 years ago, that's the only way to drive was. Not automatic. Manual gear. When the car gets stuck, 3 guys push in the back, you put first gear, and the car starts without a battery. It's interesting how it was. So Hashem said, listen, I'm giving you a push. I'm helping you out. Of course, nobody wants, because everybody wants to get a 10, to buy a new coat every week, to replace the car every 6 months, 15 watches in a safe. Who has time for Hashem to learn, to put efforts, to work on my modesty, to watch my eyes? Come on, it's too much. I want to enjoy, Rabbi. What's the problem being religious and being modern? What's the problem in buying all kinds of nice toys to make me happy? Life is very depressing. Right? That's how all the people sound. Rabbi, you guys are too crazy. You know, you're too fanatic. Why? You cannot take vacation every 2-3 days? What's the problem? You call up the lawyers every week. Where is he? Vacation. 4 days later, where is he? Vacation. You just told me he's coming back. No, he came back and left again. That's what happened. No, there are people who started their Christmas vacation already yesterday. Yeah, call, where are they? They'll be back January 6, January 7. No, fine. Whatever you cook in this world, you can throw to the cats. But in the real world, whatever you cook, Hashem forces you to eat. You don't want to eat, the angel will open up your mouth and push it in, shove it in. Why? Why are you making me eat that? You cook it, now you have to eat. That's the difference between this world and the real world. You steal, one day the payment will arrive. You're not going to be able to make a deal like you do with a credit card. How much I owe you? 700,000? Okay, I'll give you $70 and we'll finish the case, no? This you can do over here. The banks figure, let's get something out of him before we lose everything, so they agree. But over there, it's not going to be so simple. So this doctor, he has to give a nice gift to the orphans. Plus, he has to now, from now on, for the rest of his life, support Torah. Why? Why support Torah? Since we do not know what punishment Hashem is going to give him, because killing a person not intentionally, what punishments you have? Person killed accidentally. He put a ladder and the wind came. He should expect that maybe there's a wind and the ladder will fall on someone's head. Or he put something by his window and then the kid pushed it off and it fell on someone's head and killed him. What do you think in that case? Sure punishment. He has to go to Ir Miklat, to a shelter. He has to go to a city of shelter, and he can be there 50 years in prison. For what? For the ladder falling on someone's head and killing him. Or hitting him with a car, not intentionally. He jumped, he went in, he ran in, he didn't pay attention, he was on his cell phone, right? Playing with something on the floor, something fell in a car, he went down, he got up, he hit a person. If today we'll have Bet HaMikdash, we have Kohen Gadol, what the Jewish court would have to do with him? Send him to Ir Miklat. We don't have it today. And what would be in Ir Miklat? He has to be stuck there until the Kohen Gadol of that generation passed away. So if he got lucky and the day that he killed the person accidentally, the Kohen Gadol was 80 years old, no. So who knows if he makes it another year, 2, I'll come out. What happens if the Kohen Gadol is only 40? He may live now 40, 50 more years. So they used to pray that the Kohen Gadol will die. They make minyanim there in the island, in the Ir Miklat. Yeah, all day what they do, they pray, Hashem, please kill the Kohen Gadol, Hashem, please kill the Kohen Gadol. So the mothers of the Kohen Gadol, and perhaps their wives, I didn't see that he talks about the wives for whatever reason, but the mothers for sure. The mother, maybe the wife had a good life insurance, so she didn't care so much, but the mother cares about her son. So the mothers used to cook food and bring it to them. Catering, delivery. Here, darling, take, eat, enjoy. Why are you giving us all this food? Don't pray that my son will die. Why has to suffer from your crime? That was the situation. What's the connection between an accidental crime to the death of the Kohen Gadol? Chazal explained that if the Kohen Gadol was praying enough, then it would prevent this accident. It's the power of the prayer of the Kohen Gadol. If something happened in your time, you are responsible even if you have nothing to do with the case. And by the way, this is the way it is today in business. This is the way it is in the army. For instance, if one ordinary soldier that is 2 months in the army accidentally did something and he went to the news, who has to quit? The chief of this whole area, which is 30 years in the army. He's a big officer. He has to resign. Why? It's under your responsibility. What's the connection to you? Eventually somebody has to pay the price. Same thing in business. If a company didn't do well, not always is the fault of the president. Maybe the president did a good job, but there's all kinds of things. Hashem didn't want them to make money. Customers didn't like these products in this quarter, but the results were so bad, he has to resign. Even if it's not his fault. It could be, not always it's his fault. It could be he did everything, marketing, the right employees, everything was fine according to him. He did as much as he can. Economy is bad. The Arab didn't like them because they sell to Israel, so all the Arabs stopped buying and business went down. All kinds of things. Somebody has to resign. Same thing here. Kohen Gadol, you're responsible. Somebody died. Also the Chachamim. Rav Moshe Feinstein, I'll give you an example. Rav Moshe Feinstein was learning Torah and someone broke into his office. Rabbi, don't ask. What happened? A Jewish boy just got hit by a car downstairs. And so Rabbi said to him, what happened? He said, he had 2 kids, one ran after the other, and a car came and hit him and he died. So Rav Moshe Feinstein said, it cannot be, he's not Jewish. So Rabbi, the yarmulke is still on the floor there. Nobody touched it. It's a crime scene. So Rav Moshe Feinstein said, no, it's not a Jew. Go and check. Okay, I'll go double check, Rabbi, I'm telling you, it's a tzala there, it's a yarmulke on the floor. So he went down, he checked. After a few minutes, what he found out, that the yarmulke belongs to the first boy who got away from the accident. The second boy that was running after him to hit him was a goy, and he got hit by the car. So he runs quickly upstairs, very excited. How the Rav have such confidence? He comes up to Rav Moshe Feinstein and says, you were right. Apparently he wasn't a Jew. But how did you know? You're so sure about it? He told him it's impossible that right under my room, where I learn all my life Torah with such devotion to Hashem, a Jewish boy will get hit by a car. It cannot be. Torah protect the whole area. You understand? It cannot be. I cannot say it. happened under my house, the Torah I learned in my room, going to save? No, we cannot say it, but he can say it for sure, because it was 100%, not 99%. One time he finished Mishnayot, the whole Mishnah, he made a siyum. Since when Gdol Ador does siyum on Mishnayos? This is, like they say, by the way, if a person made $1 million and the company gave him a $5,000 bonus, he count the 5,000? He comes to his wife, how much you made this year, darling? We made $1 million. He won't say the 5. You talk about million, you mentioned the 5. Someone who finished the Shas so many times, the whole Gemara, no, he make a siyum on the Mishnayos. The kids in high school also do it. But he made a party. So they ask him, well, Rabbi, why you made a party? A little party, cakes, l'chaim. He said, this is special to me, this siyum. I said, why? He said, this siyum I finished, and every day, the 2 minutes that I fold my tefillin, I finish 1 or 2 Mishnayot. So I feel I got it as a gift, because it wasn't a part of life. You know, most people, they stand, they fold the tefillin. Who cares now about Torah? How are you? What's the market? How the market open? How's the traffic? You coming from there? Make coffee, we have milk. Everyone is busy with this nonsense. Him, folding the tefillin, 2 more Mishnayot, 2 more Mishnayot. In the end, he finished another seder. It's like bonus. Like getting it by the way. Back to our doctor. Now the new doctor, the Baal Tshuva, he doesn't need kapara. He doesn't need to pay the orphans. And he doesn't need to sponsor Torah. Why the older doctor has to sponsor Torah? Since we do not know how much we deserve to get punished. So we begin to sponsor Torah. If I deserve $10,000 penalty, so I gave the Torah $10,000, I cleared my soul from this obligation. If I deserve to get 100,000, no, as another year or 2, I'm going to give it 100,000. If I deserve $1 million, so in 20 years I'll pay what I deserve. Better to pay here than to pay there, for sure. There's no argument about this. Same thing, the reward in the next world is billion and trillion times greater. Also obligations and responsibility and punishments are much, much greater than here. We have to understand that it's all equal. Everything is big over there because it's eternal. Over here it's temporary. That's why the reward here is also very little. You enjoy a good meal. How much was the reward? 5 minutes. Right? You bought something nice. How much the pleasure? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 month. You bought the best car in the world. 1 month it makes you a little bit happy. You met your wife. 2 weeks later you're already thinking, maybe I should get divorced. What happened? You 2 weeks? 2 weeks. No, we finished the money from the wedding. one guy said, what am I going to do now? All the money that we had is gone. Maybe I get married again, we get more gifts. I told him, don't be a fool. You cannot fool your father more than once. One time he paid for your wedding, you got the gifts. Well, you're going to come again and say, pay for my second wedding, I want to get the gifts. It won't work. Anyway, so this doctor, the young doctor, since it really wasn't his fault at all, still he has to do tshuva. That's my question to you. Why? If he's completely innocent, why he has to make tshuva? You're not far from the answer. Why?
He has a feeling he was involved.
Yeah. That's the answer. And we'll learn a lot about life from here. The Torah says, מגלגלים זכות על ידי זכאי, מגלגלים חובה על ידי חייב. Translation, from Shamayim, nothing is coincidence. From heaven, everything is supervised. From billions of people in the world, Hashem wanted that patient to die today at 7 o'clock. For sure, one way or the other, he had to go. You cannot live another second more than what Hashem wants you to live. But how to kill him, Hashem have billions and trillions of different ways to kill him. He can choke while he sleep. Lightning can come from the window and kill him. Who knows? There could be so many different ways. Right? His partner in business can choke him with a pillow, like in the movies. There's millions, billions of different ways. You know? So what's the point? If Hashem chose you to put the wrong medicine in his infusia, in his liquid that goes into his body. Why, Hashem? You couldn't find somebody else to kill him. You had to do it for me. If I was a part of this execution, that means Hashem gave it to me to wake me up. No coincidence. It goes that even if you drive in a way and you see a bad accident, it's nothing to do with you. You're driving there. No. If Hashem show you that accident, it's like waking you up. My friend, you see what can happen? Wake up. Some people are not lucky like you. They still walk, they talk. Just today they announced on the news a big soccer player in Israel, one of the most famous in the history of the thing, was riding a motorcycle, and a car hit him, and he's in very, very bad condition because he hit him in his head. And he's not even 50 years old. Not even 50 years old. Avi Cohen, his name. He played in England, and he was a famous one. And he has a player that plays now in England. It's all stay in a family. So the secular people in Israel, what are they thinking? Why? Why does it have to be to such a nice, famous guy? Why? That's what they're thinking. Coincidence. Couldn't it be somebody anonymous? Now we all have to suffer, it's our hero. They only forget that the Torah is not a joke. If the Torah says 12 times that Mechalel Shabbat gets a punishment of stoning, and the Gemara said that since Bet HaMikdash doesn't exist, Hashem stoned the people directly without the Jewish court, because there's no Jewish court. And that's stoning. Riding a motorcycle and a car hit you, that's exactly what it is. Falling from a building, that's stoning. Drowning in a lake, it's choking. Getting burned in a twins when the plane went in, it's burning. It's just different in a different way technically, but the idea is the same idea. If the whole north of Israel is going on fire, two reasons, the Gemara answer. Chilul Shabbat, and also forbidden relationships. Thousands of Jewish girls going on with Arab terrorists to nightclubs on Erev Shabbat. Not to talk about marry them and live in the villages and getting beaten up and abused from morning to night, make laundry to 60 different families, locking her 20 years in a room with food and a slice of water like the Nazis used to do. They don't see the whole picture. Now they're excited. They get little flowers and perfumes and some drugs. It's very nice to me. Rafik became Rafi. Yosef became Yossi. Yeah. Musa became Moishi. And that's what happened. What do you think? They come, they dress very according to fashion. They also watch all the dirty things on television. So they buy from the same stores. Stores wants to do business. They sell to everyone. And they come, and most of the time it starts that they don't even know who the guy is. They don't know he lives 15 minutes ride from Haifa or from Afula, right here on the mountain here. And they don't know. And by the time they find out, it's too late already. And you understand what's going on. The Torah says to the Jews, you're not allowed to marry with any other nation, even if this guy is the nicest person in the world. Even if he's such a righteous Gentile that Hashem really loves him. Like the Gemara says that a guy that sits and learns Torah, and he loves Hashem, and he keeps the 7 laws, is almost like a Kohen Gadol. Yes, the Gemara said. No discrimination. Some goyim, Hashem loves them very much. Who was Eov? Eov was a goy. He's a part of the Tanakh. Gemara brings tons of examples from Eov. How the Ashkenazi Sidur starts in the morning. How the first thing in Ashkenazi Sidur, what is it? Ma tovu alecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Israel. Check in a Sidur. First thing in a tefillah, right? You should know better than me. You Ashkenazi, not me. I'm telling you, go bring the Sidur, I'll show you, right?
When you wake up, you say Modani, but the first thing in Shul.
Yeah, I'm talking the first thing in Shul. Well, you want to dream about Bilam before you got up already? So I say, why they brought a pasuk from Bilam? Here, Bilam is calling to complain why it's not the first thing before Modani. Why? Why, from all the things in the Torah, they chose a verse from such an impure mouth, a tameh like Bilam? His wife was his donkey. Think about it. Couldn't find somebody better to teach us that the truth is above who said it. It's important who say it. If I can hear it from the Rabbi or from such an impure person, of course, I have to go to the Rabbi to hear it. But if the impure person says something that is correct, I cannot argue with him just because I don't like that he's wicked or whatever he does. No. Even he can deny the Torah, but if he says something that is correct, a main thing in Judaism is always to say, yes, it's the truth. Whether you like to admit, whether you don't like to admit, the truth is above everything. Today, it's all manipulation. A guy comes to yeshiva, 2 weeks he's in yeshiva, and there's a guy there 15 years. Sometimes there's an argument. Accidentally, the new guy say the right answer. Usually it's an accident. Doesn't happen that much, but it happens. And the guy that is 15 years there, his ego is all the way, I'm here 15 years, I know, I teach here. This guy is 2 weeks here, he didn't take his earring off yet. See the hole here still. He's telling me the right answer. He argued for 3 hours. Bring another book and another one and go home and break his head. Opening book, 3 days. What? For what? For the truth? Baloney, what truth? To come and convince everyone that it's impossible that this guy knew the answer and I didn't. That's all he cares about, his ego. Somebody like this, 15 years learning Torah, he didn't even start to become religious. He's thinking, I'm keeping Shabbos. What was the whole purpose of the Torah? To make us decent people. That's the purpose in life. הגאון מווילנה said, תיקון המידות זה כל האדם. If a person was here and did not correct his traits, he did not succeed in his life, no matter how much Torah he can say by heart. He can say 180 days words of Torah. If you stay still jealous, you're narrow eyes, you're angry, you're deceiving, you're a liar, you're a thief, you're watching bad things, you're not faithful, you're a hypocrite. All these things that all of us has more or less, some more, some less. No patience, disrespecting people, putting down people. Oh, the list is very long. And I'm afraid to even say it to you, because I know if I was clean, then I would stay here and scream. I myself know I'm guilty just about in everything. Here, it's there, it's anger. Even once a month, it's still anger. Didn't correct. Not what you used to be, but still it's a problem. Jealousy. How can you be jealous with a person? Impossible. Like jealousy, it's a sign you have no emunah in Hashem. Anger, it's a sign you have no emunah in Hashem. Suffering when somebody made a lot of money and you didn't, it shows you have no emunah in Hashem. A Jewish kid, your teacher in your son's yeshiva call you and say, hey, your son got into trouble, they caught him stealing from the teacher's drawer something. And then 5 minutes later you found out that 2 more guys were involved, you feel relieved. That's no emunah in Hashem, it's Rasha. Why? Not only Hashem is crying for one boy is going off the way, now you're happy that he has 3 to cry about? If you really love Hashem, you want 2 more kids to be a part. No, Hashem, I hope it's only my son. And no other kids are in it. If they tell you that your son got addicted to drugs, you feel horrible. Why you feel relief 2 minutes later when they tell you there were 10 more kids in the class? That shows you have no emunah, you're not a tzaddik. Tzaddik suffer even more now, 10 times more. First I suffer for them. Even though I have the same power, for them I suffer. And most likely, if I want to be a tzaddik, I have to make this mitzvah. Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. You love Hashem. If you love your brother so much, and his son is not doing so good, he has problems, don't you feel it's like it's your son? You suffer just as much. Why? Because you love your brother. If you hate your brother, then you're happy that his son is bad. It shows who you are. Anyway, they asked the Khatam Sofer 250 years ago in Hungary. He was a major chief rabbi in Hungary. And he asked them, they asked him a very interesting question. There was a woman that one evil person got her scared. You know the people who like to come from behind and scream, ha! Sometimes it's a nice joke, but sometimes it can affect the person. He can faint. Something can fall from his hand. Who knows? So what happened? One guy came and played games with this girl. He screamed. She fainted. She fell on the floor and fainted. And she was working for a house, like a housekeeper, a cleaning lady, whatever she was. So the woman of the house got very nervous. She fainted in her house. So she ran and she wanted to give her wine to drink. You know, that the alcohol maybe will do something for her to wake her up. What does she know? She's not a doctor. No Atzala to call. In Hungary, 250 years ago. Accidentally, she brought gasoline that they use for the fire. She drank a little from this gasoline. By the time she realized, she choked to death. She killed her. Now she come crying to the rabbi, the Chatan Sofer. She said, Rabbi, do I need kapara for that? What do I have to do? Do I have to pay her family something? I have to fast? I have to give tzedakah? I have to do tshuva? What do I have to do? So the Chatan Sofer answer, she doesn't need kapara, but she has to do tshuva for the same answer we just said with the doctor. Megalgelim chova lidei chayav. If you were clean, Hashem wouldn't make you the messenger to kill someone. Unless if he's Amalek. If he's Amalek, then you're lucky man. That's a mitzvah to kill Amalek. Who is Amalek? The nation that always ran after the Jews and was waiting for them on the way to bury them. One time, a guy came to Rav Chaim Kanievsky from Lakewood. True story, it happened a year ago. He came to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, he said, Rabbi, I feel horrible. What happened? I drove in Lakewood. A man and a woman, older people, crossed the street. I don't know what happened. I couldn't see them. I hit them and they died. The police came, they investigated, they released me. They saw it wasn't my fault. They came, it wasn't a sidewalk. They came between two cars. So as far as the police concerned, I'm clean. They gave me back my license and I'm back on the business. But you know, I feel horrible. I killed 2 goyim. So the rabbi said to him, obviously it's not a good feeling to kill anyone. Even you kill a cat or a dog, it's still a horrible feeling. But the idea is that you don't know always what Hashem did here. Let's hope that the goyim that you killed are Mizera Amalek. They are from Amalek, like the Nazis, like their friends, etc., like Haman. Let's hope. No. He goes back to Lakewood. Then him and his wife are looking for a place to buy, a house. That's before the prices went up. Now, actually, it's on the way down now, but he's looking for a place to buy. He called up the real estate broker, and she says, yeah, there is a house that was just put on the market for sale. He goes with his wife to the place. He sees who this house belongs to the couple he killed. You say, if Hashem brought me here, cannot be coincidence. Why? They're sons of the couple, their parents died, so they put the house for sale. They don't need the house. So the broker showed them the closet. They came to one of the closets in his bedroom. They opened the closet, and there was some door in the floor. And you have to pull something up. He pulled it up. He see a pile of magazine, swastika, Nazis. He belongs to a Nazi group. This couple are Nazis. Inside all their pictures with SS uniform, 2 Nazis. And Rav Chaim Kanievsky told him, let's hope you kill Mizera Amalek. Maybe you kill the Nazi. Exactly what happened. So this guy was a tzaddik. Hashem gave him a mitzvah that none of us has the zchut to do. Today, this mitzvah is obsolete. Why it's obsolete? First, you don't know who is who. And second, imagine if we know who is Amalek. Do you think we'd be brave enough to come and kill them? I wouldn't get an electric chair in New Jersey. That's the point. I do mitzvah and I die. It's pikuach nefesh, no? But in a time when the nation of Israel was in power, like Shlomo HaMelech, like King Chizkiyahu, that was the rule. You find an Amalek, you identify him, it's mitzvah to destroy them. Why? They are the source of all evil in the world. So it's very interesting. Sometimes this is the way. So now, this woman asked the Khatam Sofer, do I have to do kapara? He told her, no, you don't have to do kapara, but you have to do tshuva, because after all, you killed your girl, your cleaning lady, whatever. But the interesting thing here, how the Khatam Sofer knew it, I'm going to tell you how. It says like this. The Torah says someone that in the book of Mishlei, this is what it says. If a person hit another person in Beit Din, it's not in the book of Mishlei, it's a different source. I'm trying to remember the source, but I can't right now. But it says in one place in the Gemara that if a messenger of Beit Din, it's Masechet Makot. The Gemara in Masechet Makot, the Gemara say in a Beit Din, when people used to get hit with a whip, there were 39. Not allowed to add even one more. And if it's a weak person, after 10 or 20, whatever it is, you see if it's about to collapse, you're not allowed to hit him anymore. There's one person who stand and count if they see the situation of the person, because the idea is not to kill him. He doesn't deserve a death punishment. So what happened? If by mistake he give one extra one, they miscounted, and he give an extra one and he died. So the Gemara said the person who hit him is not his fault. What? He comes to work for the Beit Din. He comes to do mitzvah. This is mitzvah from the Torah, that sometimes the Beit Din will hit the wicked people. For instance, a person who doesn't want to give a get to his wife. He wants to keep her aguna for the rest of her life. What do? They take actions against him. Even today in Israel, they can put him in jail. They take away his driver's license, take away his passport, cannot leave the thing. There's all kinds of restrictions against him. But there are some people, they say, I don't care, you kill me, I don't give her a get. I'll suffer all my life, she won't ever get married. People like this, and they all, in the time of the Gemara, they used to have permission to hit them until they surrender. Again and again, until say, okay, where are the papers? I signed. So, by mistake he died. So the Gemara say, he doesn't need kapara, because he is shliach mitzvah. So the Khatam Sofer say, kal v'chomer here. Here, after all, he was after him to make him suffer. That's the mitzvah. Over here, she came to save her life. What, do you expect her to be guilty of her death? She was under panic. She tried to give her something to wake her up. She killed her accidentally, but she still needs tshuva. Now remember, this is the conclusion from what we said. When you see something bad happen in the world because of you, even though you know it's not your fault, you meant well, people gave you the wrong instructions, but after all, a Jew suffered because of you. Somebody got who knows what. Then you have to know, yes, it's not my fault, and I don't need to compensate him. But Hashem sent me a message, that means I'm not clean. Why he used me to perform his punishments in the world? That's something that we have to understand. If we don't understand it, we have a serious problem. Guys in the yeshiva, they saw that one of them steal. He doesn't steal money. Most of the time there's no money to steal, even if you want, but not anymore today. Today, some of the Bachurei Shiva, their parents are making a big mistake. They send them with tons of cash and destroy them. Of course, they don't have patience to learn Torah. When they walk with $1,000 cash, 16 years old in his pocket, what do you expect? All day he wants to go to the malls. How can he learn Torah? Yeah, but listen, I'm giving him according to my income. A very wealthy man. What am I going to give my son? $50? Yes. What's the problem? It has to be Donald Trump, age 16, every day buy a new building? You see, they're 16, 17 years old. They already know the whole business world. He knows stocks, he knows bonds, he knows commodities, he knows the president of each company. What brought him into that? His father flooded him with money. There's no patience for the Torah. The Yetzer Hara has many ways to distract your attention from the Torah. It could be money, it can be clothing, it can be women, it could be sport. Sport is the most dangerous poison. And when you ask people, from all the poison in the world, sport is not as bad. It's the best out of all of them. That's the problem. When you know that drugs and women and all these things will destroy your children, you know how to handle it. You know how to protect them from that. You know the danger. So you are ready for the war. You know who your enemy is. But when the teacher of your son say, what's the problem? You take your son once a week, you show him in YouTube some basketball performance of all these jumpers, whatever they call themselves. What's the problem? He's going to see some basketball. It's good for the Yetzer Hara. It's better he's going to be busy with that and he's not going to go to other places. I don't want to tell you where other kids go. So the father is convinced. Okay, no son, here. But only this. You see in this page? Did you ever see one basketball clip without a naked woman over there? Did you ever see something without a commercial over there? Let's say the father is extremely careful and he recorded that into his laptop and he makes his son sit next to him and the father is forcing himself to waste an hour to watch basketball with him. So everything is clean. Then he goes back to the yeshiva. Do you think tomorrow he can look in the Torah and learn like he was learning before? Baloney. That's it. He tasted from the forbidden fruit. Once he tasted from that, that's it. The Rabbi asked, what is the kashya of Tosfot? So Rabbi, I'm already thinking about the next hour I have with these things. You're talking to me about Tosfot. That's it. This guy will never be Talmid Chacham. I promise you. Now, if you're lucky, he will stay religious. If you're lucky. Most of the time, you'll see in a year or two, depend how brave he's going to be. He's going to kick you and your religion and go, and if he has his own money, forget it. Bechlal. He's not going to hear from him anymore. Why? Because of the sport. And I tell you from experience that I see what's going on out there.
There's a lot of those religious people that watch sports.
I didn't meet those kind of religious people. Maybe you know them. I don't know them. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm extreme. Maybe I'm fanatic. For me, a person who sits with all the drug addicts that smoking drugs and scream in a stadium and cares with all these goyim hit the ball and they go with their beer and whatever they do over there with the naked ladies next to them, and this guy sit there with his beard and his yarmulke under his baseball hat with his two children that go tomorrow to a good yeshiva. For me, it's all fake. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, I don't know. You either do it the right way or you don't play baloney here. And these kind of religious people, check what's going on inside their homes. Check where they go to vacation. One time I had a girl, she came to Monsey after she became a Baalat Shuvah, and she found a job being a babysitter by a very, very ultra-Orthodox Hasidic family that lives in the most religious street in Monsey. Mamash, inside the heart of the Hasidut. I don't want to say the name of the Hasidut, but the husband is a beard like this, the wife shave her head, the whole 9 yards. And then she calls me on Pesach, and she tells me that they want to take her with her to a hotel in Miami on the beach. Now, I couldn't suspect that this family really go to the beach on Pesach. How can I suspect? I said, what's the problem? So I'm sure they go to a kosher place. Then she called me up from Florida. The woman wants to take me to a store to buy me a bathing suit. I said, what? Bathing suit? Still naive. Many years ago, this story. She said, yeah. She said, wow, I'm going to sit with a bathing suit and you're not going to wear a bathing suit? It feels bad. She's Baalat Shuvah 2 months. I'm from birth. How am I going to go to this place? So, you know what he does? He takes his beard, he puts his rubber band here, he puts a baseball hat, he hides his peot under the hat, and he sits on the beach. Many goyim has beard, shorts. And nobody knows who she is. She has with a wig, and she sits over there, and they get a 10 in Chol HaMoed of Pesach. And then, when God forbid, the plane crash on the way to Las Vegas, and everyone is in shock how many religious people crashed or how many people got stuck here in Shabbat and there, nobody sees what's going on. And what do they say? Where is the justice of Hashem? How much religious people suffer? How many religious people get cancer? Rabbi, what are you telling me about supervision and justice? There is no Hashem, they say. I don't believe in it. Religious people don't get it? And what are you going to say? There's no answer. Rashi says in the Gemara מפרסמים את החנפים מפני חילול השם. Rashi said, you have to publish the fakers before a tragedy will hit them. Why? Because of Chilul Hashem. For instance, if you went to get a job in an organization and you see that the head of this organization is a crook. Crook, what does he do? He lied to his people. He come to one guy and say, I'm going to do this event for your father, your side. I say, only for my father? He said, only for your father. So he give him a nice check. Then he goes to another person, I'm going to do that event for your father's your side. Only for my father? Yeah, only for your father. Collect from 6 different fools that believes in him. Maybe they're not fools, they're just naive. And he sees it. If he's quiet about it, he becomes a part of the crime. If you ask him, why don't you publish him? He says, well, me, I'm going to publish him. You're crazy, it's going to be Chilul Hashem. And I say, look, with his yarmulke, he steals and shit like this. But when he's going to get a car hit him in 10 years from now, and everybody is going to say, where is Hashem? Such a tzaddik, the head of organization, that's what happened to him. Where is God? And 10,000 people will throw their yarmulke to the ocean or the tefillin, like when they came from the Holocaust. The poor survivors, when they came from the Holocaust in a boat to seaport. Around the Statue of Liberty, you have hundreds of pairs of tefillin under the ground until this moment. Don't believe me? Go, dive over there and you found them. You'll find them. Why? When they came to the port, so I don't have to tell you to come from Europe to here like a sardine. After the war, most of them lost all their family, their children. Horrible situation. So the relatives here in Manhattan, the relatives, American relatives, cousins, brother, those who left Germany 10 years before, or those who were already born here, cousins all over the world. They're standing by the port, waving, Harry, I wish you would come a week earlier. We made Duvi's bar mitzvah in Plaza Hotel. We had 500 people. The guy's life is finished. He has no kids left, no wife, no parents. He's a dead person for the rest of his life, perhaps. And they said, we had an orchestra, 25. Well, if you keep Torah mitzvot, can you dance when you know so many thousands of Jews are crying and going hungry to sleep? That's a question. Go see how much food are going to the garbage in these days of financial crisis in every wedding. I'll make a deal with you. You go and check and take pictures. Every wedding, at least minimum $10,000 cash is burned. Minimum $10,000 goes to the garbage. If it's Persian or Bukharian wedding, add another 0 right away. Bukharian weddings, they now have a new rule. The owner of the catering hall has to make the ceiling higher than the standard. A few floors over there. I already reached the ceiling, the food. God forbid, we're only going to eat 2 meals. Need to be 7. So all the food goes to the garbage. Then at 1 o'clock at night, the owner of the party, when he see how much food are left, he's starting to call, which yeshiva is going to come to take it? Yeshiva needs a van. It's not so simple. Maybe somebody will be smart and make an organization that they go every night to these catering places and stand by the kitchen, and all the leftover automatically goes to a refrigerator and they send it to all the poor families. They will save thousands of dollars to every family. But instead, they take a whole platter of salmon fish, $200, to the garbage. In my own eyes, I saw. They take a platter glad kosher meat, $300, full, spill everything to the garbage. If you're a Jew, it cannot be that your heart is not burning, even if you have $100 million cash in your account. When you see how much they throw, because it cannot be. What? So many kids in Israel go to sleep hungry without bread. In New York, you have this. In yeshivot, you have this. What do you think? A person has 7, 8 kids. You live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You think people can pay the bills? You know how many kids are freezing now in this December because the parents cannot afford the heat? Yesterday, I made a very sad joke. I know a nice woman that she works for a very rich family. She takes care of the two prince and princess. So, you know, some Jews are lucky that they know that every month they get new supply from this princess and prince because they wear a shirt once and it goes right away to giveaway. They buy a bicycle 1 week, it goes to giveaway. They buy a mattress, $2,000. There was one dot stain on it or hole accidentally the mover made. It goes away. There are people like this. So Baruch Hashem, some poor people get it. So for them, it's like finding a treasure. So I had to go on the way to the lecture with my van to pick up some of the stuff. Bags full of brand new, most of them. Most of the clothing with the tag on it. Kid shirt, $98. Little tiny shirt. Women dresses, $800, $1,500, with the tag on it. I don't know, what is the point? Just to go to buy, not to wear, with the tag on it. Most of the clothes, with the pants, all of them tag. I don't know these companies, hundreds of dollars on each one. So as we go there, this family is already on vacation. When? Until January 6th. I go into the house, it's like a sauna, it's very hot. Nobody in the house. So I asked her, she also came special to open the door. Nobody is in the house. All the servants went away. So I told her, what, they keep the heat? You don't shut the heat? I promise you, it's at least $4,000 heat bill for the next 2 weeks. They put the heat on 80 and it's a mansion, big house. She said, yeah, they never shut the heat. 6, 7 months. The heat is on like this non-stop. They're home, they're not home. So I say to my friend, so you see, Michael, how the world is. In our place, families that have 12 kids in the house, freezing, because they can't pay the $1,000 a month bill. And the house is full of children, and they don't have money to pay for the heat. Here, no one is in the house, the heat is on 80, non-stop. You understand? This is it. Hashem gave enough money for the Jews, enough. If they only would be more generous and follow the laws of tzedakah, there will not be one poor Jew in history, especially in these days. Even today, when there's a major financial crisis, which only going to be worse and worse and worse, believe me, add all the money. Meir Bloomberg alone can cover 1,000 families every month without any hesitation. All their needs, just from his monthly salary. You know, yeah. This is it. Steven Spielberg, another 1,000 families. Here, 2 Jews, 2,000 families. You cover all Monsey. I should go with a bill. I'm going to tell you, I have hundreds of names that I heard over the years. Yeah. And what do? Investment, Rabbi. No, we're in investment. Give me a good investment. You know what? I want to buy another chain of hotels. But why? You are 75 years old. And you already have $4 billion cash. What more? Another bank and another new car. Where are you heading? Just remember, the richer you are, the more disappointments you're going to have in a day of death. Why? A person who left nothing, first of all, is not eating his heart, because he took advantage on every dollar he had. This person who gain and gain and gain, now he comes, you see where he's heading to. That's tragedy number 1. Tragedy number 2, which you won't have more than 5 minutes to think about, is when you see what he left here, half of it the government takes, half of it his kids go to buy drugs and all kinds of nice houses in Paris, in Cannes, and another yacht. So he said, I killed myself all my life to make this, and look what happened to my money. And in the end, Hashem comes to him and say, come. You see this family, how much they suffer? It's your fault. You see your brother, how much he suffered? It's your fault. You see 15,000 kids that went to public school and married Chinese and Arabs? It's your fault. He doesn't know where to start. Why it's my fault? Why do you think I gave you $10 billion? Because I love your beautiful eyes? Why did I give you $10 billion? How much a normal wealthy person need to live? How much? In New York, which is the most expensive city in the world. More than $10 million for the rest of his life? Probably not, no? It's enough to pay the yeshivot, to pay the house, to pay the extra house, to pay 5 cars, 3 maids. 10 million, he makes it. You know what? 20 million. Bill Gates says he's going to leave his children only 10 million. No? In an interview in Israel. They ask him, yes, they only 10 million. The rest I give all to tzedakah. Same thing Warren Buffett. Same thing many. They have about 50 billionaires who sign. They give in their life half of their wealth. So bottom line, if Hashem gave you 10 billion or 20 billion or 50 billion, what do you really think that he gave it to you for? To keep it in Switzerland until another Holocaust will start and the Swiss will take all the money like they did in the Holocaust? All the money that they put aside in Germany and in Poland, until this day, it's in accounts over there and the Swiss took it. Nobody came to claim the money. The Torah says it doesn't pay to be a thief. Where all the big thieves hide their money? In Swiss account. One day they died, nobody knows. They're afraid to tell that they put billions of dollars over there from stealing here and there. One day they die, the Swiss government take the money, the banks. Nobody knows about what they stole for 30 years. In one moment is gone. Why? They cannot tell the whole world, hey, by the way, if something happened to me, I hid 40 billion. Until now, they're looking for the money that Arafat stole. If they say he has more than 200 accounts, there are an army of detectives are searching day and night, same thing Saddam Hussein. And don't think that Gaddafi is different on any one of them. They make so many accounts in islands here, there, their own banks. It's amazing what's going on. Not to talk about all the terrorism money and all the rest. Who gets it all in the end? Swiss. The Swiss government. Yeah. So imagine now, a person died and $40 billion left for the Swiss. It's a double tragedy. First tragedy, all the stealing was for nothing. Second tragedy, you could have saved thousands of souls. Tens of thousands of souls. You lost that also. And the third tragedy is now you have to pay for every dollar. Double. What did you gain by being a thief? It's major stupidity. But ignorance, as I always say, is the biggest enemy of the person. The biggest enemy. So the yeshiva saw that somebody steal. Shampoo, soaps. Not major things, but it's still disturbing. You come to the mikveh, your shampoo is half. No. So they decided to teach him a lesson. What did they do? You know the cream that women put to remove hair?
Near.
Huh?
Near.
Nir? In Hebrew they have a name for it, a primitive name. It's called Mishi. In the old days they used to call it a Sam, they put it like a drug. They put it on a men used to use it. If those who didn't want to use a blade, because the Torah specifically forbidden blade on the roots of the beard. But if a person trimmed the beard or used that cream, then it's no problem. So they decided to mix this cream inside the shampoo and leave it there. They mixed it very well, put some water in it. The next day they come to the room to learn. What did they see? This guy has hole here, hole there, all over his head holes. Even the eyebrows got half of it is off. Everybody comes to him and says, you're not ashamed of yourself. You are the thief. Forgive me, please. What an embarrassment. We shall die. So, okay, we'll forgive you. It's only shampoo, big deal. We want you to make tshuva and promise you never steal in your life. Now there are a few questions rising from this story. It really happened. After what happened, they started to feel bad. Maybe they went against the Torah. Are you allowed to embarrass a thief like this in public? What do you think? Yes, of course, yes. Well, he deserve a prize. Maybe you buy him a chocolate for stealing your stuff. Like the Christian made up in beautiful halacha. If somebody hits you on your cheek, give him your other cheek. No? You heard that or no? They allowed. But now the problem is with the guy. Since his peot fell off, the Torah says you're not allowed to touch the peot, where the head connects to the cheeks. Right here, right here, right here, right here, and here. This is 5 places around that no blades can touch. And even without blades, over here, the peot, lo takifu peat roshchem, in any way you're not allowed to remove the hair from here. That's why all religious people have sideburns. One of the way to find fakers that come to collect money, I hope they're not going to watch my lecture, those fakers, is, you see, they come with black hat, they put tzitziot, they learn. The custom they learn, but they don't realize how everyone know not to give them. Why? It's a gypsy goy. But he doesn't have sideburns. It cuts like this. Everybody knows it's not Jewish. Jew with the black hat comes like this with the sideburns. Every fool knows sideburns is rule number 1 in kindergarten. There's one guy in Muncie, he comes every morning. I don't know how this guy didn't get the message already. For years he comes, maybe he collect $10 a day. All day he works like this. Why nobody gives him? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What does he come? He comes, Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos. He doesn't know what it means. He thinks on Fridays, when the religious people see each other and one collecting tzedakah, he gives him, so he says to him, Good Shabbos. So one time the crew came, I guess it was on Friday, the day he started to cheat. Bad luck for you. He showed up to the place, he saw everyone say, Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos. So until today, I promise you, at least 10 years he's there. He comes every day, Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos. Nobody gives him. Only people who don't pay attention, they give him a quarter. So now, this guy, he has problem with his sideburns. Is that a sin for him or no? The stealing is a sin from the Torah, for sure. The sideburns is not considered a sin because he had no idea that that's what's going to happen. It's called mitasek. What is it like? A person was tired on Shabbat and he decided to lean on a wall. He didn't look behind him. So, I'm tired. Pop, he leaned on the wall, the light went on. What sin did he make? No sin whatsoever. But what happened if a week later he knew it's Shabbat, but for 1 minute he forgot and he turned the light on, he said, oh, it's Shabbat. Accidentally, didn't mean. Is it the same like leaning on the wall or not? Not the same. Leaning on the wall means you never thought about doing that transaction. It didn't enter your head. It's not melechet machshevet. To be guilty in Chilul Shabbat, first he has to enter the head. If he didn't start inside the head, it can never be Chilul Shabbat. Walking and, let's say there's a light on the floor, not seeing it and stepping on it, you never even know that there's a light there. So not knowing, not even seeing it, it's called mitasek, accidentally. It happens accidentally. Or walking or in a place and there's a laser and the light went on. Since you didn't know, you're not guilty. Second time, it's already a problem. Now you know and you do it, it's a different story. So, lighting the light on Shabbat accidentally, it's called Chilul Shabbat B'Shogeg. Accidental Chilul Shabbat. What's the punishment for that? You have to take a goat and go all the way to Bet HaMikdash and sacrifice it, and how long it would be, how much money you're going to lose. The goat costs $300, no big deal. For 1 second mistake, $300. But the goat wasn't the problem. The problem was he lives in Tiberia now. He has to go to Jerusalem 2,000 years ago, or 2,600 years ago. How do you go from Tiberia to Jerusalem? You have a donkey, right? You take the donkey with a little carriage. You have wood wheels. There's no major road to Jerusalem. No lights. Tons of trees, rocks. You go from dusty road. How many times the wheel break? You have to take few wheels with you. Spare tires, right? Then it break, you take it out, you put the new one. Problem. So, 2 weeks to get to Jerusalem. How much business you lost? You're selling bracelets, diamonds. 2 weeks, the store is closed. To be there all day, come back 2 weeks, 1 month you're not in a business, the business went bankrupt. Do you know a business, the owner will not be there a month and still business is booming? Probably won't be a sign there when he comes back. Even the sign is still the workers. Business to be successful need the owner to watch there. So, for 1 accidental Chilul Shabbat, look how much a person has to pay.
What do you do today?
Today, it's written in your book that you owe Hashem a korban chatat. when the third Bet HaMikdash will build, if we'll be alive, then we will have to bring those korbanot. If not, when we go up to Shamayim, we will have to bring it over there. I just don't know when Hashem will make us bring us, if He will allow us to use our BMW or not. That's, I don't know. This I cannot answer. If it will be the original old-fashioned way, oy, oy, oy. Well, and people are doing Chilul Shabbat in Mezid, intentional, from morning to night, millions of times every Shabbat. No Yirat Shamayim. Tzedakah helps. Tzedakah helps save you almost from everything. Because giving tzedakah is not giving money, it's giving a part of your life. How much money you give, it's not so important. It's more important in relation to how much you make and have. For instance, if you only make, $5,000 a month, obviously Hashem doesn't expect you to give $1 million a year tzedakah, right? You don't make it. So whatever you give percentage-wise, that's how you're judged. Which means it can be a student that give $200 a month tzedakah, and it counts more than Mayor Bloomberg, as far as which give perhaps millions of dollars a month. But compared to how much he makes, it's not even 1% or 2%, whatever. I don't know numbers. I'm just giving an example. And this student gave $200, and in Shamayim his tzedakah file is better. However, it also, there's one more thing that Hashem check. What came out of your tzedakah? Not always it's in your hand. Sometimes you give a person, and in the end it was a crook. You got nothing. No reward came out. You only get for the efforts and how much you gave from your blood. Tzedakah called blood, damim, bloods. But, we have to understand that if your $10 made, for instance, 2 good CDs that you gave it to 2 people and they became religious, like last night in Sha'arei Tova, one Persian guy came to me after the lecture. He said, remember the CD you gave me 2-3 months ago? You know how many of my friends became religious from that CD? Everywhere I go, I show it. Families, parties, birthday, this. I say, I put, as long as they watch. It's a 4-hour film, you know. It's going to be a good birthday party. They come to eat and drink. In the end, they see this annoying guy speaking over there. But the person who gave that $1 that made that CD is a very lucky guy. Because that $1 had mazal. It's only Hashem knows. Also, when they build Bet HaMikdash, everybody gives machatzit shekel. Which machatzit shekel go to bring a straw for the horse to eat, and which machatzit shekel go to Kodesh HaKodashim, Hashem decide. Everybody gave. This Reuven gave, Shimon gave. The money from Shimon's hand went to feed the horses, to buy liquid soap for washing the dishes. And it depends who you are and how much Hashem loves you. If He loves you, He gives you a bonus. It's all depends how you give your tzedakah. A person that you give has to beg you, has to remind you, has to look for you, has to wait 4 hours in your office, come tomorrow, tell the secretary, tell him tomorrow, has to call you 10 times, has to remind you every month, or you run after him. The Gemara brings few rabbis, whenever they saw the collectors were embarrassed from them, because they knew they're not wealthy, and they ran to hide, and he runs to look for them in the street. Where are you? To give them the money. And say, we're embarrassed to take from you. Why? You gave so much. We want to take, go to, no, what, you calculate, you're my banker? Take the money. People understood. You know, today I read an amazing story of Rabbi from Johannesburg. He's not a simple name. His name is Rabbi Aaron Papoifer. I don't even know how to say his name. Papoifer. One thing we know, he was an Ashkenazi rabbi from Johannesburg, South Africa. Look for his name in Google later. One girl comes to him crying. 19 years old girl. Rabbi, can I help you? No, Rabbi, I don't know if you can help me. Maybe you can give me an advice. What? I'm getting engaged tomorrow night. My husband got me my ring. my fiance, and I don't have a penny to buy him the gold watch. It's our custom. We buy him a gold watch. Today it's not necessarily gold. It's a watch and shas. That's the custom today, to buy Gemara. Why a gold watch? That according to all opinion you can walk with that on Shabbat. Even in Reshut HaRabim, it's a jewel. A jewel, it's not a watch anymore. It's like a bracelet. Bracelet, they're allowed. No. So she said, I don't even know where to start. I don't have the money for that. It's going to be being embarrassed. My parents come tomorrow. His parents come. They give me what they give, and I don't have what to give. Right away, without hesitating a second, he removed his gold watch from his hand. He said to her, I still have the box. He went, he looked in the drawer, he got the box, he shined it, he put it inside, he said, here, give it to your fiancé. Rabbi, I'm embarrassed. No. It's not even open to an argument. Take it. He gave it to her. Now he wants to go home. He's thinking, I got myself into a big mess now. When I get home, my wife will say I don't have the wow. I made one girl get married. I ended up losing my own marriage. So I say, okay, I have no choice. I got to go right away to the store and look for a watch that look very similar to that you won't pay attention. I come to the store, he shows him all the watches, he said, this is the most similar one to the one I had. How much? A few thousand shekel, whatever it was. What's in Johannesburg? What's the currency? It's rand, I think. Whatever it is. As he's counting the money, true story with names of people, everything. The manager of the store comes to him with a camera, sir, congratulations. Smile to the camera. What happened? You are the 10,000 customers since this store was opened. And the rule here, in a customer that comes to an even number, whatever the purchase is, he gets it for free. Next time buy a lot. The watch he got for free. What's the point? הכל השגחה של השם. You need big emunah. If we would give her the watch, we wouldn't get a watch for free. You know why? The difference is how you give. You give and you don't cry a bit about it. You don't feel any pinch. You know Hashem runs the world, and if you deserve it, you get 5 watches, and you sleep well at night, and you're not worried about giving. Of course Hashem is going to make a miracle. You prove your point already. You passed the test. What's the point of testing you? You gave her the watch, and then right away all day, what did I do? What have I done? What a fool I am. It's $5,000. Yeah, it's a different story. That's a different story. You know, today, time is running out. We have 7 minutes. Let me tell you another interesting story. Today, the people who left the Torah in Ashkenaz, they used to call them Amaskilim. Tnuat Amaskilim, Tnuat Haskala. Even though it's a very tricky name, because according to the Torah, who's considered a maskil? Mishamayim ebit Hashem, lirot, ayesh maskil, doresh el Hashem. Every day Hashem is watching us from heaven to check who is a maskil, who is a genius, who is an educated guy, who is a good learner, who is a maskil. Requesting Hashem in his life. That's a maskil. I don't know 1% of the Torah yet. Doesn't matter. You wish for it. You are thirsty. You're searching for it. I tell you a story that happens to me. 17 years ago, I didn't know almost anything. And I was driving in Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn, and I saw a sign. Before I tell you this story, first I tell you what happened. Thursday, I was in Brooklyn. I have, Baruch Hashem, a very good lecture there for beginners in English. Baruch Hashem, very good night. Some people already started to ask about keeping Shabbat, mitzvot, so that's a very good night. Then after that, I go to shop for Shabbat. That's the time I found, 12:30, 1:45 at night. You have McDonald Avenue over there. There's a big grocery store with vegetables, with food, everything kosher. I went there. It's open all the time. So I went there. I see one guy that used to be in our yeshiva in Monsey. He's half Israeli, half American. His parents Israeli, but he grew up here. is asking me about a Bukharian girl that I know from Arizona for shidduch. She gave him my name. Now he sees me. After 2 years I didn't see him. He comes to me, you know this girl? Yeah. What can you tell me about her? Baruch Hashem, I finished the Hallel on her with bracha. No. I told him everything I know about this good girl, and it's done. Then he said, but it's not enough, you can tell me whatever you want, but my rabbi wants to know. He say, he wants to check for me. My Rosh Yeshiva. I said, who's your Rosh Yeshiva? He said, Rabbi Strauss from Mikdash Melech in Brooklyn. I said, no problem. Tell him to contact me. If he has an email address, I'll forward you her profile. All her life story, information, where she learned everything I have in one email. Instead of wasting time, I direct everything, references, let him do his homework. So, okay, I don't have an email, my rabbi probably has. Okay, today I get an email. I can show you the email in a BlackBerry. I get an email, I see, Shalom, my name is Rabbi Strauss, I'm the Rosh Yeshiva of Mikdash Melech. Flashback came to me. 17 years earlier, I drive in Ocean Parkway. I see a big sign, Mikdash Melech. Ocean Parkway on the right side. If you come from Manhattan, from the Prospect, you enter Ocean Parkway, right there after a few blocks, you see on the right, Mikdash Melech on Service Road there. I say, Yeshiva, let me go and see what's inside. I go in, see a lot of Syrians, young guys learning, American Syrians, learning Torah, Gemara. I look around, I come to one of the guys and say, tell me, there's anybody here I can learn with? He said, I don't know, you have to ask I don't think it was the Rosh Yeshiva then, it was one of the Melamdim there. You have to ask this rabbi. I see one Ashkenazi rabbi there. I come to him, I say, Rabbi, maybe you have somebody for me to learn Torah. Obviously, he was surprised. Somebody walked in out of nowhere. He said, let me check. He got me one guy. I sat with him, started to learn halachot. We learned an hour or two. And that's it. I went there, I think, a few times. Then I found somebody in Lower East Side. That was the story. Today, he sent me the email. So I sent him an email. After I gave him all the information he needs. By the way, I want you to know that 17 years I came to you as a young guy. I walked in. You were very nice. You told me, you gave me a guy to learn with. He couldn't remember it, obviously. 17 years ago, I was very happy. So for him, it's a good encouragement. Why? Sometimes you do a little thing for a guy. You don't know who he is. You talk to him 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You cheer him up. You teach him something. You give him some love to the Torah. And then that's it. You forget about it. You come to Shamayim, what a party. They bring all the Bukhari and all the Persian. It's beautiful music. Separate. And then you say, what, it's all for me? Wasting all this. What do you mean? Look, you see this guy. You gave him the push in the beginning, and a lot of good happened in the world thanks to that hour that you put. Remember you made a lecture in your house one time? You remember you made phone calls? Look what happened. That's the time to clarify one thing. Today a girl called me up, and she's a little upset. You can see right away from the beginning of the conversation why she's upset. She has a good point. She said, Rabbi, I got some kind of a local newspaper, and I saw your picture that you went to speak in a Hanukkah party of people that are not religious. So she say, the problem is that I told my sister that she's not allowed to go to this party. Torah say, not allowed to go to places that they're going to make music and guys and girls together. It's not kosher. And she told me, what are you talking about? I went there, Rabbi Mizrachi gave a speech there. So right away, I couldn't make a beep anymore. She won the argument before it started. So I'm so disappointed. Don't you preach in your lecture how horrible is mixed parties? So I told her, what do you think I went there? To dance with them? Why do you think I went there? The husband of the person who arranged this, he wants to wake up these people to make tshuva. It's a tzaddik. He told me the only way to get these people is to go there. They're not coming to lecture. I told him, let's make a deal. I'll come there. I'll do my best to ruin the party, of course. Why do I come there? To encourage them to make sins. I'll give them such a speech, believe me, if they want to move, they'll freeze after. But it's not enough. I make one deal. I heard that they give a gift to everyone who paid it. It's very expensive, the admission. So I have in one condition that we put the DVD Torah and Science inside the basket of each one of them. 200 people, whatever it was, everyone get a CD, 50 of them will watch it, 20 of them will come Baal Tshuva, one night, very good. That was the plan. Then they a little bit tricked me. What was the trick? As I'm speaking, the guy hands me the candle with the camera to light Hanukkah candle. I knew he's tricking me. But I didn't want to embarrass him in front of the whole people. You know, because to embarrass a person in front of 200 people, it's right away you lose the Olam Haba. It's not a joke. Malbin pnei chavero. When this is a person who told me, I watch your lectures, I became a lot better. To embarrass him like this and say, no, I don't want to light your menorah, it would be a big embarrassment. But I know they're doing it for the picture, for that magazine. What? To make them kosher for all the rabbis who are fighting against them. So I explained to that lady, I'm different than all the rabbis you know here. The rabbis here, they have their synagogue, they teach Torah, they teach the community halachot, and they have to say what's good, what's not. I'm going into the dirt to save as many souls that it's possible. Sometimes these people won't come to you. Hey, Moshe, instead of driving on Shabbat, why don't you come to me for Shabbat? Who are you? I'm not interested. You know Rabbi Grossman, one of the biggest rabbis in the world today. They wanted to give him Pras Israel, to be a minister of Israel. You know how he started? He went to a nightclub. Guy sitting on a bar, listening to Goyish music, smoking, whatever they are. He comes with his beard, peos, a hat. He goes into the bar. Everyone see the rabbi inside. You sit on a bar. People right away start to argue. He makes thousands of Baalei Tshuva through his organization. But he was lucky, not like me. He had all the billionaires running after him to give him money. So he built the entire Kiryah in the north, buildings full of apartments, people. He has yeshiva for guys, yeshiva for girls. Baruch Hashem, it became established. And he made a massive organization of people and learning and Baalei Tshuva. It started from the nightclubs. He is the one who arranged the basketball games between Maccabi and the Knicks every year. He is the one that they put him on the stage and he talks, and the black people come to clap, Rabbi. He's the one. That's how he started. So make no mistake. All these mixed parties are horrible, are poison. The idea is to ruin them, not to let them happen. But nowhere in the Torah it says to burn it, to fight, to curse, to argue, to make the Torah that they hate the Torah even more. Darkei Noam. You have to be clever. How to go to the heart of the people and get them out of their mistake. If you just fight, you achieve nothing. And I'll finish the lecture with what I started to say. The maskilim today, they call themselves the maskilim because they go to university, they get a degree, but they do not know 1.5 words from the Torah. Nothing. But one thing they do know, some of them, is grammar. Because grammar, they learn in a university. It's like a profession by itself, grammar. Chataf patach, shvanach, beget kefed, dagesh kal, they know all these things. Most religious people don't have patience to learn this. Whatever they learn with the ears, but they don't learn it as a profession by itself. So they brag that they know grammar, sometimes even better than the rabbis. So one of them, 125 years ago, he knew that the Malbim was big Ashkenazi rabbi. He has Perush on the Tanakh. It's an amazing rabbi, big Talmid Chacham. He's an expert in grammar. If you want to sell your book, you need his signature on the book that he authorized it. That's it. You got it. So he come to the house of the Malbim. He's not religious. He put this white light yarmulke on his head, you know. He got it from the basket. He comes in. Shalom, the Rabbi Malbim is here. No, he's in the shul. Where is the shul? Around the corner. He goes to the shul. Hundreds of Hasidim. So he doesn't know who's the Malbim now. Accidentally or not, the Malbim comes out. The Malbim see a not religious guy doing in this Hasidic shtibel. Right away he comes to him. How are you? Nice to meet you. Doesn't say his name. So he says to him, where are you from? He said, from my father and mother. Being a wise guy. So he said, no, he thought maybe he doesn't understand the question. He said, no. Where are you from? He said, from the four corners of the world, בארבע כנפות הארץ, being even wiser. Malbim saw he has a business with a clown. He left him alone and he went home. 10 minutes later, the guy asked around, who's the Malbim? They told, go back. He was here before. He probably went back home. He goes home. He knocks on the door. Who opens the door? The rabbi from 10 minutes ago. Oh, that's already a bad start. I was fooling him, And now he's the one I need his signature on my book. So he said, come in, have a seat. So I said to him, Rabbi, I need your authorization for my book. I wrote it, please review it and give me askama. So the rabbi said, oh, no problem, of course. But before I give you askama, I want to ask you one question. He said, מה ההבדל בין שרץ לשקץ? What's the difference in Hebrew language between a sheretz and a sheketz? Because reading the Torah, it looks like the same thing. The Torah speaks about sheretz, sheketz. Nobody knows the difference. It's a hard question. The book that he wrote is milim nirdafot beivrit. Words that are similar in Hebrew, what's the difference on each word? So the guy didn't know the answer. He didn't know the answer from what's the difference between sheretz and sheketz. You ready for this? I let you go home with a smile. So he told him, I'll tell you. Sheretz come from four sides of the world. Sheketz come from a father and mother. Go look for your friends to give you askama. Remember what you cook, you're going to have to eat in the end. Thank you very much, Levi, for organizing. Thank you. We'll see you Bezrat Hashem, next Monday. Wednesday, I'm going to be right here on 77th Avenue, corner of Main Street in a shul. On 77th Avenue every Wednesday at 8:30. Thank you very much.